welcome or welcome back. My name is Erica and this is Books Carry Me Away. Today I'm doing my May book haul and I'm really excited to show you guys some of the stuff that I got this month. I kind of went on a little stretch where I wasn't buying books and then the floodgates opened and now I'm buying books again and I'm kind of loving it. So the first one that I got was the Faerie Loot. I think it was the April book for Faerie Loot, and it's Bonecryer's Moon. And Bonecryer's Moon is a new fantasy duology by Catherine Purdy, and it follows three separate characters. So the first character is Elise, who is trying to become a Bonecryer, and Bonecryer's duty is to shuttle the dead to either to the heavens or to the underworld. And Elise is ready to do it, but she has to complete this one task before she can become a Bonecryer, and that is to kill her one true love. So the second character that we follow is Bastian, and he apparently has a kind of revenge story with these Bonecryers because his father was killed by a Bonecryer. And then the third character is Elise's best friend, Sabian, I think is how we pronounce that, and she is just trying to kind of keep her friend from messing up what she's been working for her entire life. And so I think it's all these three characters kind of getting wrapped up in, I don't know if it's a love triangle or whatever, but it says, I think the tagline had doomed romance, magic, and betrayal. So I'm really intrigued by it and I'm pumped to get around to this. I don't know when, but beautiful green kind of shimmery edges, and then this is a exclusive to Faerie Loot, but that is the first book that I purchased this month. So whenever I'm going to purchase books nowadays, I'm trying to complete the series that I have already, and that it just kind of helps me finish off reading the stories or to get back into those stories. So the next book that I bought this month was The Hand on the Wall, which is the third and final installment to the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. Not going to give too many spoilers on this one because this is the final book, but the Truly Devious series follows two kind of timelines. And the first timeline is it's following the kind of founder of Ellingham Academy, which is this prestigious Vermont boarding school, and it's really kind of tricky in regards to he built it on top of mazes and secret stairways and hallways and things like that, and it's this big giant campus. And right before this school opened, his wife and his daughter were kidnapped by a guy that was leaving riddles, and it hasn't been solved, and this guy is called, or person is called, Truly Devious. And so the second timeline follows this student in present day called Stevie, and Stevie is obsessed with the Ellingham Academy, disappearances, murder, things like that, and Truly Devious. So she is dying to get into this school so that she can hopefully solve this unsolved murder. And so the past two books have been amazing, and I love all the characters that she's also got, her group of friends. There's an actor, an artist, an inventor, I think a writer, and there might be one other one, I can't remember. But the only thing that I don't like about the two previous books, which I'm hoping this resolves it, is it's one big giant mystery. I get that. And it's over 3 books, but I was wanting more answers out of each book in the series, and there's still a lot of wide open questions, and I hope it's not just information dump right on top of each other. So I'm interested to get into this. I will be picking this up next month because I've put it off. I think this came out maybe in March, February, give or take. I can't remember, but I'm excited to pick this up. I'm hoping that I'm not completely lost because it's been a hot while since I've read the last 2 books, so we'll see if I don't start this and feel like I need to reread, and I'll just listen to the audiobooks because the audiobooks are really good too. So next 2 books I got to pick up at my local half-price bookstore because they did open back up, and of course the first place I'm going to go is to a bookstore. And I found 2 gems. I found The Star-Touched Queen and then A Crown of Wishes by Roshni Chashni. And I've heard a lot of great things about, so I believe The Star-Touched Queen was actually her debut novel, and then this is the companion to this one. So I have a very I'm gonna find out if I have a good relationship with her or not. I wasn't a huge fan of the Gilded Wolves, and it wasn't anything against like her world building or her characters. It was more like the math and the science part that she liked, that was very heavily prevalent in the Gilded Wolves series. So I'm curious to see what goes on here. But I've heard amazing things about this story, a lot of 5 out of 5 star reviews. And what I've heard about it is it's this girl named Maya who has a horoscope that preludes her to death and that her marriage will end in destruction and things like that. It's supposedly kind of set within like Indian and there is some Greek mythology hints towards it. I heard there was like a Hades and Persephone's kind of vibe to it, and totally there for that. So I had to pick these up because they were super cheap and I was excited to find them in hardback. So those are the 2 books that I've also got. The next book I picked it up because I loved the movie on Netflix, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. If you guys haven't seen it, it is so good, and it actually is a book, but that's not the book I picked up. I picked up the Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. This is a debut novel, and just based on the synopsis, I feel like it's going to be really similar to the Guernsey literary one. So this book follows a group of people in post-World War II Chawton, I believe is how it's pronounced, England. And in Chawton, apparently it's the final kind of place where Jane Austen lived and where a lot of her, like, I think it's her cottage and where she used to do some revisions on her novels. And this group of people, and it's like a ragtag group of people, it is a farmer, a young war widow, the village doctor, an employee of Sotheby's, a Hollywood star, a local solicitor, that anticipated heiress to the estate, and a precocious house girl. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out what's going to happen with all of Jane's estate and things post World War II. And so I just think it's going to be something that's going to make me feel good. And I hope, it might be adapted into a film like the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society. I loved that. It was so cute. But anyway, so it was, I think I liked this book. I'm going to like this one. So the last 4 books that I picked up this month is all because of Gavin's Believe-a-thon. So one of the prompts, I think it had to be the first prompt at the Poacher's Pocket Inn, you had to read a first book in a series, and that book for me was The School for Good and Evil. And I've had that book on my shelf for a while, and I finally picked it up, and I loved it, adored it, and just had to have more of it. I even predicted it in my TBR for the Believe-a-thon, was that once I got a hold of the first book and fell in love with these characters, I needed to know what happened to him the rest of the way. And it is a 6-book series. The final book is coming out in June, and I have like 2 weeks. I think it comes out on June 2nd, and I am reading these books as fast as I can. I am on the 4th book, so I have to read 4 and 5 before the 6th books come out. But of course, I didn't have any of those books, and I had to purchase them all, and even pre-ordered the 6th book. So the 2nd book in the series is A World Without Princes. The 3rd one is The Last Ever After. And then it goes into 4, 5, and 6, which I'm not going to give you the titles on those because I feel it's a little spoilery. But I adored this series, and I'm probably going to do a big review on it. But the main gist of it is that there are 2 girls named Sophie and Agatha. And Sophie and Agatha are transported to the School for Good and Evil. Their entire life, Sophie has thought that she is meant to be in the School for Good. She has done good deeds. She thinks she's perfect. And then Agatha thinks she's going to be sent to the School for Evil because she's just a little different. She wears all black. She's kind of this like mousy character, doesn't make friends easily type deal. And they end up getting switched. So Agatha ends up in the School for Good, and Sophie ends up in the School for Bad. And it just follows their story. These things are so good and so long, and I feel like they don't drag, which so nice in a big book type deal. They are middle grade, but I feel like they read very young adult books. So I'm 31 and I still love these things. They're really good because they are fairy tale heavy. So I'm a fairy tale lover, so I'm just gonna keep reading them. So these are the 8 books, technically 9 because I've got another one coming in on Saturday. It's the 5th book, To the School for Good and Evil. But these are all the books that I picked up in May, and I'm excited to be getting books again, and I'm excited to read all these. Are there any books that you picked up this month that you just can't wait to get your hands on? And just let me know down in the comments section if you've read any of these or you want to gush about any of these. And I hope you guys have a great day, and until the next time, I hope you guys get wrapped up in a good book and get carried away by the story. Bye, y'all.